Just in case they ain't get the picture the first time around.
I see you, hater. My motivator. Y'all make me greater. Yeah. Pyrex.
Okay, we're back in the shop. We got some lower door panels for not sure what year Donk, but it's the same Donk that I did the dash for. We got these lower door panels we're gonna do first. We also gotta do the top, but we're gonna do the lower first. As you can see, he missing the bottom portion of this one, but I could use this one to duplicate that one over there. But I think we're gonna go with the darker color at the top. We'll put the lighter color down here. But we're not gonna try to do it all one piece. Y'all see, boss man won't let me work. But we're not gonna try to do all one piece. We're gonna put a stitch probably here, all the way around to here. We're gonna have to make it stretch to go down up in this offset here on all of them. But we're gonna take the armrest off first. Looks like it's just a Phillips head. Screws on all of them. Let me get my drill, then we'll take these screws off. That's the handle. Well, not the handle, but I guess you can call it a handle armrest. We also got to take these here off. It's just on the front door panel. Might as well get these out the way. They'll be in the way once we start trying to wrap it. He's missing one. We're gonna use this carpet here to make a template once we get ready to do this piece down here. So we're gonna save this carpet. Got some staples in it. That's what the carpet was held down with. We're gonna pull these staples out. Now we're gonna concentrate on, y'all know all these old school door panels be brittle. I don't know if you can call it dry rotting, but the plastic be brittle and just be flaking off. See, we don't want to put no glue on top of that because it won't be bonded to nothing. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take some sandpaper and try to knock all this brittleness down before we move any further. Okay, I got it cleaned off pretty good. Sand it down. It's not flaking no more. So now we gotta make our patterns for the fabric. We're gonna use a Sharpie, make some reference lines. Like I said, I could do it a couple of different ways. I can have this stitched around here, but I think I'm gonna have all this one piece. No, all this here one piece. This is gonna be like a separate piece here, just so I can make those contours wrapping it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna figure out our stitch line. I think we're gonna have a stitch line probably along this edge. Also along this edge here. Then along the bottom. And the top gonna be the same. Probably bring it. I could take it this way, which all this gonna be covered up because the top portion of the door panel cover this up. I'll come back to that. And over here, and I can bring this one all the way. Yeah, I actually can bring this one all the way to here. We'll just take this one straight across. No, straight up. I was gonna go that way, but all that won't be seen in a way. Okay, we got that. Now we're gonna make some reference points, so we'll know where to meet our fabric up. Okay, that's what we're gonna have. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use plastic first to get our pattern. Once we get our pattern with plastic, we'll transfer it to the actual fabric. So how we're gonna do it, we're just gonna spray it. Let's move this out the way. We got some Loctite. We're gonna do this part first, then we'll go back and do that. It ain't really gotta be perfect down up in here because I'm gonna have some overhang. I'm gonna wrap it around it. I just need to get these lines here matching up. Let me cut this compressor off. Okay, we got it wrapped. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the marker and trace out the exact marks we just put down. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll take our scissors, just trim out, cut out around the actual dash itself. Leaving a little overhang. Then we'll remove this. We'll cut this out here now. Make sure these lines here matching up. Okay, once we get this cut out, we're gonna do the same thing with this portion here. As I got to looking at this here, I think I can wrap this here without no problem. The biggest problem gonna be up in here, trying to get it to stretch up in here without it pulling away over the years. See, that was my concern. It pulling away, because I done seen a lot of stuff people wrap like up in here. It don't stretch, don't get it glued down good, and it start pulling away. But I think I might can wrap it without doing two pieces. That'll be good if I can. I think I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this one here. If I can get it wrapped, I'm just gonna have to take my time. I'm gonna do this part here first. Make sure it's down real good, and then I just stretch everything else like it need to be. Cause I can cut this here and pull out the access into here. Also, I can pull some up in here. And also up in here, because that handle goes here, so it won't be seen. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get the fabric and my glue, and we're gonna try to just wrap this one here first and see how it goes. Here's the material I'll be going with. This the darker color. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut out enough for this first piece, first door panel. I think that's gonna be enough there, enough to overlap all the way around. All right. See, this is gonna be our main concern up in here. See them wrinkles? That's what we're gonna have to try to concentrate to get out. So we're gonna do up in here first. Like I said, I got a little bit I can pull them wrinkles out. I can cut up in there and pull them out. So let's make sure we got enough to go on this end. Yeah, that should be plenty. All right, so we're gonna get our Sharpie here, flip it over. Just kind of give us a guide how far we need, well, how far we can go with the material once we start gluing it, put it in place. And we're gonna use a brush this time. We're not gonna use the gun because we're gonna be doing a little section at a time. Let's go ahead and put this out the way. I'm gonna do a section at a time. Let me get the glue. This should be enough to start. Let's go ahead and mark. We're gonna glue up in here. That's where the handle offset is. We're gonna put glue all up in here. We're gonna put a lot of it. We'll cover it real good. Not necessarily a lot, but continued coverage. Like if I would have sprayed, it wouldn't been all over, to be like splatters here and there. Once we get this part done, the rest of it should be cakewalk. We're gonna let this, once we do get it stretched out like we want it, we're gonna let it sit for a while before we do the rest of it. Make sure it's dry. I think we're gonna come all the way up on this. Yeah. Then we'll move this. Then put some glue right here. We're gonna grab the heat gun as well because that's gonna help us stretch it like we want it. We're gonna go a little bit past it because I'm not sure exactly. Once I start stretching it, it's gonna pull it. I think that should be good there, all the way around. A little bit more there on that corner and also on this corner. All right, let's let this dry, then we'll move on. Gotta make sure it's dry, because that's the key. Gotta be dry before the bun. Well, let's do it like this first. Turn it over. Put it in position how we had it. And we're gonna flip it back over. And we're gonna store it up in here. Got the heat gun. We're gonna heat it up. Hold on 1 second. It's trying to bun up here. All right. This sun helping me out also, giving it a little give. All right, we're gonna set it to the side. See if we could shove it down up in here first. See, I got it in the middle there. Now I just gotta work my way all around. Might gotta heat it up a little bit more. You can see I got that part down. Now, see if I can get over here. Let me put a little bit more heat on it. See how these wrinkles here come out once I stretch it. My main concern was up in here, but we'll put some more heat on it. Think we're getting it. Think we got it, y'all. See, I can stretch all that out. Like I said, if I had a wrinkle, I could have cut this and pulled it up into that opening there. All right, we're gonna let this sit out here in this sun. Come back out, make sure it ain't lifting up before we move on. Okay, our next step is we're gonna take care of this part here. You can see it got bigger wrinkles than anywhere. I got a contour I gotta go around. We're gonna throw it back and we're gonna concentrate on probably from here over. Put my brush in this bag here so it won't harden up. Ziploc bag, keep the air from drying the glue out. little bit more. All right, we'll let it dry. Then we'll glue it down. Working my way on around, a little at a time. See, I got this section here now. This is my last panel here. On the curves here, the contours, I take my heat gun and heat this area here up, maybe about 4 or 5 seconds. I don't get it too close to the fabric, just enough to heat it up. Then I stretch it. That'll give me some give in the material. Then I'm also, like, stretching out this material around the contours, it's putting a lot of slack in some areas. So up in here, behind the handle, well, armrest, like I said, handle, armrest, whatever you want to call it. I'm putting, in the front door panels, I got to put 2 cuts in it. What I do, I cut it like this here, then this piece here, I fold it back and glue it. But you're not going to be able to tell. But I'll show it to you once I get it done. I put one here, also one here. But on the back door panels, I just put 1 cut. So let me go ahead and do this on camera so I'll show you how I get that contour right. It don't take much, you just soften up the material so it'll stretch a lot easier. You want to make sure this glue dry though before you do it. It should be good enough there. Then what I do, I pull it. See, you still got some wrinkles there, but I can get those out by lifting it up. Like I said, you got a few chances of getting it right before it stick on you. See, I'm just keep lifting it up, getting the wrinkles out. That's it. And I just going around the corner there. Okay, I'm finished up with all the wrapping of the door panels, the lower door panels. Now we're working on this insert that's going here. I know at first I said I was going to use this carpet that I took off, but I want it somewhat smaller than this here. As you can see, this carpet going all the way up to the edge there. I want you to be able to see the edge. So what I'm gonna do, I already did the front. What I did, I took my piece of paper. This is what I cut off the front though, but I took it down below that contour. Then I just took my finger, pushed down up in here so I can see where I gotta trace out below that line now. Then I took a pencil. Then I took my scissors and cut it out. I can use this for the driver and the passenger. I just flip it over. See if I gotta trim out some after I cut it. Test fit it. See what it's looking like. See, I want to sit down this side here good. This side over here, we're gonna cut some more off of it. Around about like that there. Now, let's see how it's looking. Think that's gonna be good there. Let me get my hardboard. We're gonna put this on, transfer this over to some hardboard. Okay, that's our hardboard. We're gonna line our edge up. It's pretty much straight on the hardboard, so we ain't gotta cut another line. We'll use the edge there. Trace this here out. It's gonna be the driver's side front. I done made a mistake, moved it. Okay, that's our line. We'll cut this out. Well, we might as well flip it over and do the passenger. Okay, now we're gonna take the DA with some 80 grit and clean it up. Clean up the edges. Also, well, this the driver's side. Let me see. Let me show you. It's a little bit too big. I took my Sharpie, so I'm gonna sand all that off. Just clean it up a little bit. Gotta plug it up first before I do anything. All right, you can see I took the DA and beveled the ends off here. I could have used the router, but I ain't feel like pulling it out. I just took the DA, beveled it off on all four. Now we're gonna transfer, well, we're gonna cut some fabric out. It's a little bit lighter than what we use. Let me show you. This is what we use for the lower door panel itself. This a little bit lighter. If y'all watch the dash video, y'all can see how I coordinated the different colors. So let's flip it over. It's a lot of little white bugs out here. They just flying everywhere. All over my shirt. Let me see. We can make one right here. We're gonna put a lot overlap because I'm gonna do something different with this here. I'm gonna put a French seam right in the middle. So too much ain't gonna be no problem. We can always trim it out once we center that French seam. And we're gonna do another one. But we can just cut this one out, then flip it over. Cut it down the middle. Now we're gonna be doing the same thing. We're gonna cut these in half because that's how I'm gonna do my French seam. We're gonna get a straight edge and do that. So let me cut the front out. All right, we're gonna put this in the middle too. We're just gonna add wing. It ain't gotta be perfect. Take a straight edge. We're gonna draw straight down the line. It's gonna give us a reference once we do the French seam. We'll know somewhere where to put it at. We're gonna do this on all four. And then we're also gonna do it on the fabric here. Find the middle somewhere. That's about the middle there. We're gonna say this gonna be the driver. We're gonna do that on all four. All right, now what we'll do, we'll cut all our fabric right down where we put the straight edge line at. Then we'll take it on the inside and sew our French seam. Now I'm about to do my middle stitch. The thread count gonna be 4.5. Okay, I got my stitch. Now we're gonna do a French seam. Stitch on both sides of the middle stitch. I have folded the flap over and put some glue down to hold it in place. So I ain't gotta worry about holding it down when I do the French seam. Guess now we'll do the French seam. Thread count gonna be 9.5. Here we go. That's one side. I could just leave it like that if I wanted to. I think I'm gonna put another stitch on the other side. Make the French seam. Okay, I got all 4 pieces sewed up. Now we're gonna glue them to our boards here. We're gonna use the spray gun this time. A lot faster. Once it dry, y'all remember that reference line that I put on there? That's how we're gonna line this up. Make sure we got enough end to end. Then we're gonna, the middle of the stitch is gonna go on that line. Should be good there. Make sure it's pulled tight. Set it to the side and do the rest on. Then we'll spray the back so we can overlap it. All right, now we're gonna cut this here. Once it dry, enough to overlap. I'm gonna leave this stitch so it don't unravel on me, but it shouldn't because the glue. This be on the safe side. I'm gonna overlap all it. Okay, I got this here wrapped. Well, all 4 of them. Just trying to trim some of this bulk down in the back. think I'm gonna call it a night. Tomorrow, the only thing we got left is the armrest. We're gonna wrap the armrest. Then we'll put everything together. That's what it look like. Okay, this should be the last step. We got the handles here, the pulls. We gotta clean them up before we do anything. So we're gonna take a room Scotch Brite, clean them up with some dish detergent. Now we're ready to cut our material out. We're gonna be using the lighter color like we did on the inserts. Then I started to think, me trying to wrap this completely around, it probably leaves some wrinkles in it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a stitch in it. I'm gonna sew this top portion. Wait, it's gonna be a separate piece, and then around the edges, gonna be a separate piece. So I'm gonna cut some strips out. Well, first I can do this top. We'll do a big one first. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna trace it completely out around the edge. I don't even think this pen here working. We're around the edge there. Then we'll put a little seam allowance. Like that there. Then we'll take our scissors and cut this out here. I just drew that line to show y'all what I was doing, but you actually can just cut it. If you got a good eye, you just cut it with some scissors without putting that second line. We're gonna do all four of them like this here. Okay, we got all of them cut out. Now on the edge, we're gonna make sure we got enough to cover this whole small one. Yeah, that's gonna be enough there. We're gonna leave enough to overlap around the bottom. So we're gonna probably do it the size of this square. Get this pen here. We're gonna draw the cat. And we'll cut this out here. Then we're gonna make sure it wraps around. We want it tight, so we're gonna leave maybe a 1/4 of an inch gap. So when we sew it up, it'll be tight. So we'll probably cut it off around about right there. I think I'm gonna cut a little bit more, but y'all see what I'm going for. So this is for the small one. Let me do the rest of them, then we'll move on. Then we'll sew the two pieces together. All four stitched up. Let me show you what I got. Once I stitched it, I had trimmed out some of this backside so it'll somewhat lay flat. So now we're just gonna test fit them, and then we'll trim out some of the backside where I got to overlap, so I ain't got to worry about doing it once I glue it. See, this is the look I'm going for. On this back side, this gonna get folded over. This here gonna be folded, so we're gonna have to cut this out where the screws gotta go. Trim some of this here out here. Think that might be all right there. On this side here. Think we'll be good so far on this one here. If I gotta cut a little bit while I'm doing it, it'll be fine. Okay, I'm ready to spray my contact adhesive. I got the fabric on some bricks just to hold it in place where I spray it. I'm gonna spray the back side of these pieces first. Okay, this is how I'm doing it. I'm just lining it up end to end. Then I try to make sure the lip sit down over it so it don't be bunched up. Alright, I did this one here. We'll move down to this one, do the same thing. Once we get all of them like this, then we'll just fold it over and overlap it. And that should be it. Then we'll put everything back together. Give you a look at it. Here's the finished results on the lower half of the door panels. Y'all let me know. How did I do? Only thing he gotta do is put his switches in. Well, I still gotta do the upper half of the door panels. These the lower. I got one of the backs here. For those that haven't seen the dash, I'm gonna take you over here and show you the dash. If y'all wanna see that video, I have it down in the description. Probably be popping up as well. But here's the other rear door panel. And here's the dash. Y'all go check that video out. I repaired the cracks, put this insert in it, and stitched it. Y'all stay tuned for the upper part of the door panels.